Everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today I sat down to film a video that I'm really excited about. But first I ended up filming a little update to let you guys know what's going on with the background, so be sure to check my last video or a video that was very recent. I will leave it linked in the description box for you guys and explain why my setup changed and everything, but I am super excited about today's video. I saw somebody else do this last night. I just watched somebody's old video. I've been really going down the planner video rabbit hole, and it's recommending all sorts of awesomeness to me, and this was one of them. I know people have uncoiled their planners before, but I have never tried it. I'm talking about, like Erin Condren's plum paper planners, Lime Life planner, all the planners that come on these nice thick chunky coils, they can be uncoiled. And I know that it was possible. I knew of people doing this. I've never watched anybody do it. I didn't know how involved it was. I just thought, oh, I'm not gonna go there because it seems scary. To take your planner apart seems really scary. You pay like 60 bucks or 80 bucks for these things, and I don't want to ruin them and not be able to put them back together. So I was a little bit scared to go down this rabbit hole when I saw the video, but when she was doing it, I just saw visions in my eyes of these FRANKENPLANNERs that I could make. So guess what? Your girl did it. So I played around with this morning and got some of Johnny's tools out. So you need needle nose pliers for this. And she had ones that have plastic protective grips. Well, I don't have those. I will be buying a pair, but I just raided Johnny's tool area and he had quite a few different kinds of needle nose pliers, just regular old ones. He had these curved ones, which are really helpful for getting the coil piece out. So you really you need some sort of pliers. If you have the really fancy, black coils, even some of the gold coils and the rose gold coils, they can chip. So you definitely want to have protective, they're flopping all over the place. You definitely want to have the protective plastic over the needle nose pliers because you will scratch these up. I did end up scratching up the tips of these, but these are just, they're metal. They're my old planners. It's no big deal, but I will be getting the other pair before I mess with any of my nicer, fancier planners. So what you have to do, I have a planner for demonstration purposes. We're not going to uncoil this one because this is my floral Erin Condren. It's actually started in 2021, but it's for my 2022. And I love this planner. It's one of my favorite ones of all time because of the floral watercolor sketchiness of it with the pastel-y colors, and it just, oh, it speaks to me. But we're not going to uncoil this, but for demonstration purposes, I will show you what the coil looks like. I've never really inspected, so we're inspecting today. You can see the little piece that hangs down there. That's what you're going to have to turn, and that's why you need the pliers. So you have one of those on both ends. You can see that there. You have one of those on both ends, and you have to turn them with the needle nose pliers and make them flat. And the goal is to make them parallel or as close to parallel as possible with the other coils that are going around. So that is what I did. I had Johnny do the first one because I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing, and I was kind of nervous to mess with it, even though these are really old planners. I'll show you in a minute. But we made them pretty good. You can see they're pretty well done. They're pretty parallel. They're still kinked a little bit. The more parallel they are, the easier it's going to be to do this. So when your coil is on there and you have the ends parallel, you just start winding, and it does take a minute to unwind the whole thing, but you just keep turning it until it all the way pops off. And then you're left with loose papers. You can see this is my plum paper planner from 2018, 2019. It's a really, really old one. I've repurposed pages out of here a ton. I just change the dates and that's all, and I use the same weeks, but there are some pages in here that I no longer actually need for planning. So I have been actually kind of journaling in old planners. Some layouts just haven't worked for me, and then also they're just so old, I just know I'm never going to go back to them. I'm going to take out some of the pages in here and set all of the clean weeks that haven't been used aside. I don't need the tabs. I don't need any of the extra pages. I'm going to just kind of sort through. I'm going to have a pile of loose weekly pages that can still be used, and then I will have a pile of other useful pages. I'll have a pile of recycled things, and then I'll have a pile for my FRANKENPLANNER, which will be ones that, if I can flip through here, if I can find one like this, where I have one side done, but the other side is not done. So I will journal and use any of this space. I'll just go straight across the lines and use it for just journaling. When I need to just clear my head, I will grab a notebook and just journal. And some of them are dedicated, actual dedicated lined notebook journal style things. And I will use those from time to time if it's something that I want to write down and more remember. But sometimes, you know, I'm just venting. Sometimes I'm just clearing my brain. And for those, I go to these that just have extra space. This is one of them that I've gone and done that with. And also, I've used this one. So I'm going to be combining these two books, recoiling it and using it as a Franken journal made out of old planner pages. So this one is a very, very old Lime Life. I got this one way back when we lived in Champaign. It says 2015 on the front of it. So this is a 2015 planner that I've kept this whole time because it's pretty, because the tabs are pretty, but it's not been useful for me. Also, the note pages are gorgeous. Like, look at this note page. Isn't that beautiful? So I know I would want to keep this to use for notes for something. I can totally punch this and put this in a disc-bound book. But like these old calendar pages, I no longer need them. And then there's some like plain old notes pages. And this one had a different timed schedule that just never ended up working for me. I got an hourly thinking it would, but I had just had Olivia and I never went hourly at that point. So I just never ended up using this one for its intended purpose, but I can definitely still journal along these lines. So there are a lot of pages in this one specifically. I have it right in front of me. That's why I'm looking down. This one specifically, I was journaling in, and I have a lot of just like random journal pages. Like, I'm not going to show you all of it, but this one says, I am so thankful that she made it to 11 months breastfeeding. Like, I'm talking about, you know, breastfeeding Stella at this point. So I just have journaled some, and there's still a lot of more pages in here that I can still use for journaling. But again, like if I'm just recycling these pages, I don't need the tabs, I don't need the monthly pages, things like that. So I can save some of the monthly calendars to just use as I want, but I'm just going to take it apart and make different piles of this old Lime Life and also this old plum paper planner. So that is my plan for this. I'm going to not be able to show a whole lot of the sorting process because some of it is, you know, stuff I've journaled, stuff I don't want people to see on the internet. So I will not be showing that part of the process, but that's where we're going to jump to next. I'm going to show you my piles. Okay, I went through both planners and I ended up with a stack. And unfortunately, these planners are different sizes. If you have ever had a Lime Life planner, it has one more spiral ring than any of the other standard ones, which is unfortunate. The planners don't really fit with the other interchangeable covers that well. So they are two different sizes of stacks here, but they do stack well. Like when I'm lining them all up against each other, they line up well enough that I think I can make it work. So I'm going to try to coil all of this together. This is the stack of what I want to use as the notebook paper. I did end up just putting any of the notes pages in here, even if they had like a little bit of a mark on it, like this one. This one has one line on it for both sides. So I used it for like a week, barely touched it, and I can still brain dump, basically. Brain dump on these, just vent on these sometimes, and use it as my little notebook to just clear my mind, basically. So basically a brain dump. And that's all of this stack here that I'm going to try to recoil. I have a stack of things that are recyclable. Some of them have personal information and some of them are just used from the other planners. I did end up having a stack here of pages that I can save and repurpose in more Franken planners in the future. So I have a stack here of that. I have a stack of dividers, but everything's like thrown everywhere right now. But I kept all the cute little divider tabs because they're still great. And like, look, the Lime Life ones are beautiful. They're bright and gorgeous. And so I have a giant stack of stuff to repurpose for future Franken planner projects. And then I had a stack, a pretty good size stack left from that 2019 planner. This is a stack of just the plain weeklies, like front and back. These are all intact, so I can definitely use these and repurpose them. I loved the layout that I had on this. It was a student planner, but it has on the schedule, top 3, a cute little habit tracker. So these pages can totally be repurposed and reused from week to week. And even not even punching them into a Franken planner or anything, I can totally just cut off this and tape them into whatever planner I want to use. So they can definitely be repurposed there. And then also I have up here, I've got stickers. These are just stickers from the back of the plum paper planner. And then the Lime Life planner had a set of these gorgeous notes in the very back. I had only used a couple of them. So like, look at that beautiful little damask rainbow design. This is just a full little thing of notes that I can use for actual, you know, pretty notes at some point. So those are also set to the side. I've got quite a few stacks around me. So we are going to kind of work on this. So what she did was she used binder clips. I happen to not have any binder clips, so I am going to just try to wing this. They are all easily lined up, so I feel like I will be able to do this, hopefully, because they all do line up pretty well. So I am going to be using the smaller coil, and I think this was the, so bouncy, it was the Lime Life coil. So let's see, the best way to do this would be that way or this way. I think this way, because this one is a little bit smoother. So we are going to just line them up at the bottom and give it our best shot, and it might not turn out super easy, but we're going to try our best here. So all the holes are lined up, like I can see through them. So that would be the purpose of the binder clip. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's not going to be super easy to get in the next spot because my thing's not perfectly curved around. So I need to definitely work on that, but it's going to be easy to get them through. But that one's sticking out a little bit too far. So I'm going to be tweaking it here to make it work a little bit better, hopefully. And it does take some, like, it does take some force to get these to do what you want them to do. Okay, I'm going to try again. Line up everything and try to start coiling it through. Oh yeah, that's much easier. Okay. I cannot believe, I hope you guys can see, like, look at that. I'm already through 3. So if you line it up just right, you can totally do this, guys. I'm like giddy doing this. I'm just putting together a little brain dump notebook with recycled, gosh, coming up on 7-year-old planner papers. It's going pretty smooth once it starts going. And the key to this is making your end line up well. Because it's working. It's working, guys. I'm so excited. All right, let's get this all the way on, and then I'll show you how we're gonna close up the ends here. Okay, so that was the last hole. Oops. So that was the last hole on the Plum Paper Planner papers, but there is one more Lime Life paper planner hole. So I think I'm just going to leave it with that and not do that last hole so that the covers will fit well. No, I think I'll go ahead and go through the last hole because I'm not going to cut the end of this wire. So I am going to stick it through that hole, but the Plum Paper Planner ones are not actually through that last hole there. They're just kind of hanging out. Okay, so now we have it bound. We have the spiral on there. Now we've got to bend the coil back inside. So this is going to be the interesting part here. Holding it up is making it more interesting. So we're going to just bend this back down and in to the coil. I don't know how to get it to bend at like an actual angle. There we go. Okay. So I've got it bent down. We just need to force it flatter. I don't know. I don't know how to do this best. This is an experiment. Okay. That one's pretty good. Okay, so I bent it in and then down. First in, then down. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. First bend it in and then down. Maybe not. Maybe bigger pliers. Okay, we've got both ends bent. Both of the ends are bent. So we have an actual little notebook, which actually works. So I'm super excited since this one is with that extra coil. I'm going to stick the Lime Life covers back on this little journal. And this will be my little brain dump journal with all my recycled paper, nothing extra. I don't have to flip through and find the next like paper that I can write on. I can just start writing, which is really nice. Okay, front cover's on. This is what it's gonna look like. So super cute. And it will totally do the job that I want it to do. The front and back covers are both on here now, and it looks super good. And it's a nice sizable notebook, just combining the two notebooks. So I have a lot that I can repurpose. I've got quite a big stack here of divider tabs and extra pages and things. I've got a big stack of note papers and stickers that I can put with my sticker pile. And then this big chunky stack here is all just going in the recycling. So I have a lot of stuff that was taken out. I also have one more coil. Now it's just an extra coil. I love how bouncy they are when I hold them up. And there we go. I've got my little brain dump journal, and I love the Lime Life colors and designs and things. I just ended up picking the wrong layout with them and not ever using it. And that's why I held on to it so long, because it was just so pretty. I've gotten rid of a lot of planners since then, and now I know, take the coil off, take out the extra pages that you want to keep. So I'm super excited about this Franken planner thing. I know people have done it. I'm totally late to the game. If you're somebody like me who was just a little nervous and intimidated by the whole thing, I have to tell you, it was so easy. I just can't believe how easy it was to put this thing together. And especially like I can combine multiple planners now. The sky's the limit with this, guys. And I ordered quite a few A5 size, so I can totally Frankenplanner the tinier ones. I can totally Frankenplanner the bigger ones. The sky's the limit now. I just feel like plannering became just that much more awesome. So I hope you guys will give this technique a try if you have old planners that you want to repurpose some of the pages for. I'm just really impressed. I didn't think it would be as easy as it was, and I'm super excited about it. So I hope you guys liked this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow me along. I have lots of planner videos in the works, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.